Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Noble Forum. Really good to see all of you guys, and I know a lot of us know one another, but I thought it'd be fun if we could maybe in the chat just drop down where you're joining us from, just so we can. It's always good to see where people are from, and get a little bit jealous if people are from places that have a little bit nicer, warmer weather too than we get here in Columbus, Ohio, and even in Pittsburgh with the Pittsburgh folks joining us. So let us know where you're from. Again, in case you don't know me, my name is Jeff, and I am one of the leaders of Noble, and I help oversee these online forums. So it's great to meet anybody that's new. And so we're going to kind of dive in. I'm really excited about today's topic, and more excited about the presenter, and we'll get into that here in a little bit as well. So welcome everybody. And here at Noble, we have a kind of a roadmap that we like to take people on. We have 4 different areas that we focus on. The first 2 we've been kind of moving in already over the last few years, and this year we're going to be moving into these last 2. But these 4 areas are noble knowledge, noble growth, noble leadership, and noble abundance. And we're super excited that this is going to be the year where we're planning on having all 4 of these up and running, and super excited to see that. And our goal here is to really be able to help leaders and entrepreneurs at their different stages of growth. Some of you are at the very beginning, knowledge, where you need to have the right knowledge to know what to do to grow, and to grow and get a business started. Some of you are at the stage where your business is up and running, and now you need to know how to grow it, how to take it to the next level. And then there's going to come a time in your journey where that business starts to grow, and you may have people that you have to manage and lead. And so we want to make sure that we're providing leadership opportunities to train for that. And then, man, we have some people who their business has been going and thriving, and now maybe it's time for them to consider stepping out, selling the business, or maybe even figuring out how can I take the profits that my business is making and maybe even start something new. So that's really the vision of what Noble is all about. We just want to be a resource for you guys, and be with you for not just the beginning stages, but to see you all the way through to possibly one day selling your business for millions of dollars, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? So
Yes.
we're here to support you guys. A couple of housekeeping rules here. Not rules, but just some things to keep in mind. We love seeing faces. So at all possible, if you can keep your cameras on, so it just helps us to make sure you're not, sleeping on us or anything like that. It kind of keeps the energy high, and we just love to see all of your smiling faces. We are recording today's session. Please turn off all distractions. That you're here for a reason. You're here to grow, and this next hour is gonna be, it's for you guys to learn. So turn off those distractions. And today we're gonna stay together in a group. And one last thing, we've been getting uh, some AI bots on these calls, and just to let you know, uh, we're not going to allow access to these bots. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. We get it. Sometimes you can't show up, so you have AI show up, and we get that. But just for the sake of participation and all of that, we're going to ask that you keep not allow that to happen anymore. Anyway, with that note, I'm going to introduce our presenter today, and her name is Corrie Bott. And I met Corrie, I don't know, Corrie, how long? It's been like 10, like more than 10 years, right?
I think
I was
so.
trying,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I was trying to remember that. But Corrie was an intern at the Dublin Entrepreneurial Center. That's how Chaz met her. That's how I was introduced to her. And I had the privilege of kind of sitting down with her, and she came in and getting to know a little bit about her and seeing some of her work. And back then I was pretty blown away by what she was doing just as a student. And 10 years later, she's a big shot. So let me kind of give you a little bit about her. She is a graphic designer. She has experience in destination marketing, which is really interesting. A side note on that, you guys who have heard me talk before, I talk about niche down, like that's the way to go. And notice what she's done. She's picked that little bit of a niche, and so she does destination marketing, which is really cool, and that's what she's been doing for the last few years. And she brings a creative flair and strategic expertise to the world of promotion, with a background in creating work that is visually appealing and a passion for developing effective campaigns. And she thrives on the intersection of design and strategy. She has a passion for creating things and making them look and function beautifully. And I can go on, but I know you guys don't want to hear me go on, but I think the presentation itself is going to speak volumes for just the value that you're going to get today from Corrie. And so with that, I'm going to shut my mouth and let Corrie kind of do her thing. So thank you, Corrie, for being with us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for the introduction. Yeah, I think it was 9 or 10 years ago. And yeah, you were one of the people who first interviewed me and hired me for that internship. So thanks. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen. Did that work? No, didn't work.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, how is that?
Yep, good.
Okay, so today we're just going to do some brushing up on marketing essentials for 2024. It's January. I thought maybe we would just go back to some of the basics. I find that sometimes we try to get elaborate and we see other people doing elaborate things. And is that what we should be doing? And I don't know. But then once you take some time and go back to the essentials and your roots, you can kind of look at things in a different perspective and have a roadmap for your business and what might work best for you. So since we're in January, I thought that would be a good idea for today. So I'd like to go around the room and learn more about you, what your business is, what do you sell? Are you having any successes with marketing? Are you having any struggles with marketing? Just to kind of understand who we are, who the group is, and that might drive part of the conversation. Maybe I should go back to, let me go back to there we go. Okay, so how about Douglas? Why don't you go first?
Hello, everyone. I'm Douglas J. Webster from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And my product is children's book geared towards illiteracy with an active website. And the name of that series is Little Dougie Webster and his amazing adventures featuring the alphabet game. And then we're going to have some other series, 1, 2, 3, Come Count With Me, and all those things that will help children learn. I am in the beginning stages, and I have not started my marketing attack yet on the whole universe that will help children and adults learn. So I'm excited about the product. I'm excited to hear what Corrie has to say. And let's get this ball rolling, man.
Okay, great. Caden?
Hey everyone, my name is Caden Wilson, for those who don't know me, and I'm the founder of a tech and marketing company called Welcome Home. We help you visualize your unbuilt residential property, whether it be your dream home or if you're a developer trying to pre-lease or pre-sell residential units. You can check out my 3D tours on my LinkedIn page, along with more information.
Okay. All right, Brian.
There, we actually have services as opposed to products, but we do talent consulting and executive search. And our main driver in our business is impacting culture. And we do that through creating an environment where relationships can thrive. And I would say, to answer the question about the struggle, is I tend to be a very strategic person, except for in my marketing. I find I kind of do it a little bit more random rather than have a plan and then marching towards it.
Okay. Good answer. Great. Sherry?
Well, you just heard Brian. He's my business partner.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Okay, Jim?
I have a zoning company, and we'll be in Dallas, Texas next week with the ICSC convention. And my company grew 31% last year and the year before that. And my website hasn't been touched. It's Wix. It stinks. And I don't get any business from it, but I do know that people who are big time architects and developers will look at my site probably to verify that, along with my LinkedIn page. So I need to have a better website presence just for the credibility for what we do, even though everything we get is referrals, and I can't keep up with the business just from that standpoint alone. So I'm a little bit afraid to market because I'm not set up yet to handle the volume. I'm barely keeping up with what we've got right now. So.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. Well, congratulations. I know that's probably a
Thanks.
scary point to be at, but
It's a great problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Andrea? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Yes, I'm here in Columbus, Ohio. My name is Andrea Taylor. And what I do is I sell small cakes and puddings. I do, it's Andrea's Petite Pounds, and they're small pound cakes. And like I had a website, it is under construction, and I'm trying to find the right person to do it. But at the same time, I just came out of a very busy season. I did not even need the website because of just by word of mouth, and because I've been in business for a while doing this. So I was really okay without having it, though I need it, as well as the volume has become overwhelming because it's just me. So now people are wanting me to deliver, and I'm doing it out of my house. And so now I have to look into trying to get either a food truck or a brick and mortar or even a kitchen or something, because but I am having a problem with some other things like marketing and knowing how to do all that stuff, and then working social media. Now I've worked it on an amateur level, but now I need to really start to do commercials and those kinds of things. And so, there is where I'm finding myself where I need a lot of help in. So, but I'm grateful for the business. And so that's that. That's who I am. Glad to meet everybody and glad to be here.
Wow. Well, congratulations to you too.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Nas?
I'm sorry. It's Deborah.
Oh.
I always got to change that. That's my grandson's name. But anyway, I'm Deborah. Okay. And I have two businesses. I have a dance company, and I used to have a website years ago, but I took it down. But I think I want to bring it back up again. And I have ages 3 to adults. And also I'm a professional seamstress. And like the one guy was saying, I don't know if I want a website for that. I get a lot of business per word of mouth, but I may want to once I start bringing some more people in to help me. So, but yeah, two busy things: a dance company and a seamstress.
Well, those sound like they go together very well. You have the performance and then you do the costumes for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Very
sir.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Manuela?
Hi, my name is Manuela. My company is Joy Travel, and what we do is we celebrate memories, travel memories specifically. So my first product are earrings, and they're made from natural, sustainable materials, bamboo, and some are made from cork. So I had a website, but it wasn't up to the level that I wanted it, the quality. And I do have an Instagram page, but you need I want a really nice website so I could sell on Instagram as well. So basically, I would say my website is really a big need, a really nice one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have Russell. Oh, you're on mute, Russell. Still on mute, Russell. There we go. Okay. There you go.
Sorry about that. I'm still in the beginning processes of writing the science fiction religion book. I haven't started marketing yet. I've been looking at other websites as well as other pages on Google as well as Instagram and so forth.
Okay. Sounds good.
I also want to stay connected because I'm moving to Portland, Oregon.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How many more people do we have? Anybody else?
Bob.
Anybody not gone?
Bob.
You have Rob and Tunji.
Yeah, hello.
Quick introduction.
Go ahead, Olin Tunji.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Well, it sounds like content is a big piece for a lot of people. It sounds like websites are a big piece for a lot of people. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we get into it. We're going to start with kind of the basics and strategy in setting up just a mindset of how you want to start your business or how you want to start your marketing. Is it showing up? All right, can you all see it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so first of all, we want to talk about what is your business, how business starts. One side of things, you see a public need and you want to build your business around that public need. So you want to pay attention to what those customers are asking for and then tailor your business to that. There's another side of business is there's something that you're really good at, something that you want to do, and you need to go out and find customers that suit who you are. And in thinking about that, that kind of starts what your next steps are as you start to plan for marketing. So as a business, what is your persona? What are the traits of your business? What, if you were to kind of build it out as a person, what are those traits? Are they more serious? Are they more playful? What do they like to do for fun? How much money do they make? How old are they? What are their traits, or what is your trait as a business? And then you want to craft a compelling and unique value proposition for that. Why is someone choosing you? So once you do that for your business, you also want to do that for your audience. Same things. You want to find out what their traits are, what do they like to associate with, and build that out as a person also. And there's great ways that you can start to understand that. And you want to look at data and analytics around that. There's lots of different ways, we'll get into this a little later, that you can do a lot of research on your customers and their behavior. So once you know who you are as a business and who your customer is as a person, once you realize those traits, you can kind of start to match them up. And that's really what your brand is. Your brand is using those personas and those traits when you're talking about your business and to your customers. And then once you have that brand, it's really important that you stay within it. You see some people kind of go off the rails. They start veering too far from who they are, or who their core values are, what their traits are, and then they lose sight of their core base of customers. So once you know who you are, who your customers are, really stay within those identities. And then once you are in that identity, consistency across all outlets. So when they see you in person, when they see you on social media, when they see your website, your newsletters, whatever that is, that the voice is the same, the imagery is the same, the colors are the same, they feel like they're still a part of, they know who they're talking to instantly. So how to use your brand. Branding is giving people feelings. So what do you want them to feel when they're around you? What are the traits that we talked about, and how do you want them to feel? Do you want them to feel powerful? Do you want them to feel comfortable? And and make sure that you tailor your experience to those kind of feelings for them. People want to feel like they're a part of something. They want to feel like this brand is just for them, just for their group of people. So make them feel comfortable and attract them based on their traits. This is something that I often think about, people's learning styles. When communicating with people, with customers, with consumers. When you think about yourself, how do you learn best? Do you like to read information when you're consuming information? Do you like to read it? Do you like listening to podcasts? Do you feel like you learn better that way? Or are you the kind of person that when you're flipping through a magazine, you look at the pictures first and then you read the content? There's all kinds of different people and they all learn differently. So when you're going after customers, just keep in mind that people learn differently and try to have different pieces of content for each of those learning styles. So we're just a little exercise here. This is text. So if somebody who consumes information better by text, they would just read this. Auditory, I'm gonna read it to you. So there once was a man carrying a green bucket who was being chased by a charging rhino. So that's somebody who's listening to podcasts. That's how they consume their information more readily. And then here's a photo of that situation. And there are some people that's how they consume their information. So when you're putting out content, just be aware that people learn in different ways and try to hit each of those different learning styles. So content, when we were talking, when we went around the room, it sounds like content is a big challenge for people, because content really takes a lot of time to put together. And there's different, of course, different kinds of content. So writing a newsletter, that takes a lot of time to collect all of that information and put that in a newsletter, or going out and collecting video and collecting good quality photos. Those take a lot of time. But once you have them, there's ways to use them in many different ways, so that it's not just a one and done. You're using it over and over and over again. So that the time spent creating those is worth it. And I'd say that's a majority of what a website is. So a website, it's basically just a framework that you put your content in. So when people are talking about, their website needs a boost, I'd say start with content, and it takes a lot of time, but it's worth it to take that time to build the text, build the photo library, the video library, to make sure that you have a great storefront for people who are trying to find you. So the best way, what seems to be the best way to attract people, is engaging in storytelling, in creating your content. And a lot of content these days is just entertainment. So brands are trying to find ways to tell stories and be forms of entertainment for their customers. That's a lot of what social media is. But that also translates into different realms also. So when you think about creating content, try to tell great stories, the things that make you feel, what about your things about your customers that make you feel great. Tell those stories, and think about it being entertainment for people. Importance of high quality content, that is important. Now, don't be so critical that you never produce anything. You want it to be good, but don't be a perfectionist to where you never release anything. High quality photos, it is worth it to hire a photographer if that's not one of your strong suits. Just go ahead and do it, because you will use all of those photos over and over and over again. If you're not a strong writer, it's worth it to write or to hire a copywriter to get you some really good starter copy for your business. Leveraging different types, but keep in mind where your customers are. So based on those personas, if you know that your customers typically hang out in a certain realm, just focus on that. And whatever their learning styles are, focus on that. You don't want to waste your time in places that you're not going to have as many, not as concentrated number of customers. So how do you make these decisions? And a lot of it, I would say, goes back to data. And how do you find data on your customers? Google Analytics, that should be set up on your website. Whoever does your website, make sure that they're giving you the analytics on how many people, what kind of people, where are they searching from, what are their age ranges. That all helps. That all helps when you're putting a campaign together, who you're targeting. Social media has great analytics. Make sure you have a business account so that you can get those analytics from your customers, people who are searching you. Email open rates. What are they clicking on when they're opening your emails? I know Constant Contact, SurveyMonkey, HubSpot, they're all services. They all have fees associated with them. Some website platforms also have an email distribution service with them that you can send out emails and get those open rates and click-through rates, what the customers are looking at. Surveys are great. Don't hesitate to send out a survey to your people and find out what they like, what they're disinterested in, what they'd like to see change. That's all very valuable and can help drive what your focus is in the future, and can really save you a lot of money. You don't want to put money into something that's just they're not interested in. Excuse me. Customer interaction. Just interact with your customers. Ask them what they like, what they don't like, and pay attention and listen to what they're saying. And you might have there are reasons why everybody does what they do, but their perception might drive what decisions that you make in the future. And then organic behavior, just if you can, just watch your customers interact with your product. If you have a physical product, or it's probably more difficult for a service, but just watch your customers interact with it and see how they treat it. Like if you have a product and they pick it up and you notice that 8 out of 10 people are putting it back down upside down, why are they putting it down upside down? And then based on that information, maybe tweak what you're doing. So you want to do all this research before you run a campaign, before you make a decision. And then after it runs, you want to look at the data from how it did. What were the trends there? And then you can also do A/B testing, where you have 2 different concepts. You run them both at the same time and see which one does better. And then based on that, you choose the one that does better, and then maybe tweak that and run an A/B testing on the one that did better. Just tweak that a little bit. So that can save you a lot of money and a lot of questions by doing research. Building customer relationships. When customers like how they feel when they're associated with you, that builds loyalty. And if you think about yourself, why you associate with the brands that you do, a lot of it has to do with feeling. You feel like it's doing you a service. You feel like it's strong. It makes you look cool. Whatever that is, it's more emotional than maybe we realize. So pay attention to that and recognize your customers that are being loyal to you. And of course, customer service, that's number one. You got to take care of your customers, and that can be difficult sometimes, but taking care of them is ultimately the most important thing. And then honesty. Honesty will get you through a lot of difficult situations. So in good times and in bad times, honesty is always best. Influencer market. Influencer, we think of that as social media influencing, but get people talking about you. And you're talking about in your zoning business, the word of mouth, and probably in the sweet treat business too, word of mouth. People, they love what you do. They're talking about you, and that's very valuable. So maybe think about rewarding those people too. Digital and real world influencing is very powerful. Choosing the right influencers for your brand. So if you're looking for someone to be an influencer for you, make sure they suit your brand. You don't want to choose somebody who is just famous for being famous, but they don't really suit what your values are or the customers that you're trying to attract. And then there's trendsetters and there's trend followers, and leverage both of those. So if you be on the lookout for someone you think that can set a trend for you, and then if that catches on, take care of the followers too and support the trend followers also. The future of marketing is definitely digital. Digital, it's less expensive. It reaches a lot more people. But when you decide to do some sort of physical marketing, it will probably stand out because people are doing less of it. And when you do decide to do something physical, make it really interesting, make it stand out. And I think that they're both still very effective. So do the digital marketing, do the physical marketing also. Conclusion, do your research. Have a clear understanding of your business and your customers. And then build a brand that makes people feel something, makes them feel a certain way, have emotions, makes them want to be a part of what you've got going on, almost a community. And then once you have those customers, take care of them, listen to them, value them, give them perks. People always like to feel like they're valued, and they are. If they're customers, they are definitely valued. All right, I know that was fast, whipped through that, but open to any discussion, any thoughts?
Well, I will say that I like what you said about getting someone to represent your brand that really actually represents you, and it was very interesting that you talked about how to make it a person, like if it was a person, like I never even thought of it like that. So that really helps me a lot, in regard, because I want new customers. I want to start shipping. I want to do some different things with my business. And in fact, there is a second like business that I do. I embroider. I don't know if embroider is the word. Bedazzle is more like the word for bling out, so to speak, like shoes and stuff like that. And so I have this Cricut, and I create my own, because I have my own logo. So I create my own wear, like my own t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to get some chef hats and maybe a chef coat and put my logo on there and that kind of thing, just to save money. But the point I'm making is that you have brought something very new for me, like, to where I can shift in the area of marketing. And so I'd like to know more about that. I don't know if you have a book or what it is that you do, but it's very interesting to me because I'm really trying to grow it and work at the same time. And, because at first I was solely doing it, and now I'm working as well. So you definitely have to manage that time. So, so I just wanted to add that. And thank you so much for coming and sharing your wonderful information, because it's very, very helpful. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, your business, when we think of our businesses, they're so personal to us, but your business can have different traits than you as a person. So you can differentiate those, and how you want your business to be perceived can have, just a little bit different than who you are as a person.
So the one aspect of your presentation stood out to me was the gathering the content.
Yeah.
And I'm a visual artist.
Okay.
And so for me, it relates because I think of an image, I do my research, I put it together, the different things that I want to go into that image, that picture. So I'm gathering my content, and then I have to go ahead and then I'll do the sketch. And then from there, I'll do the outline on my board, and then I'll go in and layer the different colors and get the depth of field and the shading, the contrast, and all that. So for me, that was, it's an easy thing for me to do. Growing up in elementary school, I was bullied and everything. And I remember as a young age, I said, God, I don't want anyone to ever feel this type of pain. I don't want to project that. And so from middle school on up, I'm a people person. I love people. And so I'm a high energy type of person. I'm always smiling, always positive. So putting that content and looking at my business and the concept of the business as Lil W. Webster, Amazing Adventures. And so that brings a lot of energy and excitement. And with the colors and the illustrations for the children and the adults to see, putting that whole thing together is just so simple for me. I know gentlemen that do videos and photography and everything. So that is just like a ball of energy of excitement. I'm getting ready to explode right now to get this thing rolling. So your presentation was very informative, and I thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hi,
Hi.
I have a question for you. I
Okay.
was taking notes here, and you mentioned about storytelling.
Yeah.
So when you say that, do you mean like the pictures? You mean like short little ads, little videos, little,
I
like
would say,
stories?
I would say, tell me about your favorite customer, or tell me about your favorite piece of jewelry, and then tell me why you love it so much. And you can just do that in a short little video, or you can type it out in a short little story, like you were telling me about your earrings earlier.
Yes.
Just pick your favorite one and then tell people about it.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
The something that gives you an emotion, something that makes you feel, will probably make someone else feel, and probably make
Right.
them smile or
Yeah.
happy in their day.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Give me
Yeah.
food for thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I jump in on that too? Like, just to really hit that home, the storytelling thing, like that's, I mean, I follow a person who has $1 million business teaching people how to tell stories in their business. So that tells me that it's an important thing for us to learn how to do that. And people buy into stories more than they're going to buy into your story first before they may even buy into your product or service. And so what I like to tell people is to sit down and take some time and just write out your own journey. Where were you before you were doing what you're doing? Why did you get into what you're doing now? And what has been some of the struggles, some of the wins? What have been some of the customer testimonials? And figure out how to tell, because I know for me, I'm very interested in why people started their business. Because it gives me a behind the scene look. So then it moves beyond it just being a product or a service. It becomes about the person. And we all like to be connected to people, right? Like we want to know that we know, like, and trust the person, right? And I think the quickest way to do that is to figure out how to tell these stories that could be very, some of them are very personal. Some of them could be stories about how a transformation took place in your customer, and then learn how to weave that into your website even. I hate websites where it's all about the product or service, which, okay, I get that, but it's almost becomes faceless at that point. It's like, who am I actually dealing with here? And so I think if we could bring story in, I just wanted to say that because I really emphasize and agree with that storytelling piece of it, and it makes a huge difference in your business. So thanks for bringing that thought out.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like if you were to go out to lunch with a friend and you sat down and they were like, "Hey, what's going on?" What would you tell them? What is that first story that you would tell them? And then tell that to your customers too.
So one more question. So I guess you're saying because a lot of it is online, um, like I'll sell in person, but since most of it will be online, you kind of have to, I mean, do you become the face of your brand, or is it just a little thing about me, if they want to find out how we started type of thing?
Yeah. I'd say definitely tell your story. Tell how you started and why it's important to you. Is that what you would say, Jeff?
Yeah, for sure. Because I know your story. I know why you do what you do, and I love, because it's such a personal thing that I think sharing why you got into this would connect with a lot of people, because we all love to travel. We all have our special moments when we travel. And sometimes we come back and it's like, dang, I wish I would have taken a picture of that, or I had some memory of that. So I think for you, in your particular case, I think you will be the face of your brand, because you're telling a very unique, powerful story, and you're dealing with people's memories. And that's a very powerful thing when you're dealing with people's memories. And it's a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful connection that we make to travel. So I would definitely say you should be the face. You should be telling the story about why you do what you do. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question too. In addition to that, the storytelling piece is really good, but in addition to that, you can, when I say in addition to that, I mean telling your personal story. You know, like for me, I'm the face of my brand, but what I did in the beginning, I wasn't necessarily the face of my brand. What I did is I used videos from other people to let them tell the story about my cakes and what it meant to them and how it made them feel when they ate it and all that stuff. So that's what I did, because that helped me. And so people would see it, and it was right during the pandemic, and they would see it and be like, "Ooh, I want some cake," you know? And so, I mean, literally, that's what happened. And people were showing up with their mask on at my door to buy cake. And I was thinking, who in the world would want to buy cake during the pandemic? But everybody wanted cake in the pandemic. So I'm just saying, you know, and then later on, I introduced puddings like banana puddings, strawberry banana puddings, like I do a just different puddings. So the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, that is another way to tell your story, you know, and allow others to tell it for you. And then I jumped in during, somebody said they wanted cookies during the pandemic. That's funny. But anyway, that's how I told the story. And then I went in and began to tell my story and why I started baking, and I love baking from a child and all that stuff. And I burnt up several cakes and all that kind of thing. And, you know, so this is so good. And it every time I come, I'm just so grateful for Noble, because every time I come, I feel so inspired and I'm get on fire to do something. And it really helps me. So again, thank you. And I just wanted to know, you know, well, say that is the way I did it. And was that the wrong way, or?
Oh, those are your ambassadors. Those are your influencers. Those are telling, letting them tell your story and you telling your story. That's, you can't get any better than that.
Amen. Thank you.
You had people risking their lives to eat your cake. That's pretty awesome. Oh my gosh.
So yes, getting people to talk about you on social media is good. If you have customers that use your brand and then they put it on social media, I've gotten people like that with my dance and with my sewing. And, you know, what I try to do, I tell people, I'm here to make your dreams come true. It's all about you and serving you. What can I do to help you do what you need to do? And so it makes them feel special when you do that. And just letting them know that you're there to be there for them. And, you know, the storytelling is good. It's great. That's what I do with my dance company, you know, and I try to make everybody feel good. Like as far as people have different ways they learn, you know, everybody don't learn the same way. and it's different ways they receive things, and when you talk to them, and like you said, different ways that they learn, or they can receive information or learn information. And we all have to be understanding and not just do things one way, or just say one thing, because we have different people. And so just let God lead you and guide you, your intuition on how to answer questions, because everybody learns differently. It's so much of a learning experience to me all my life. It's been a learning experience, but I just thank God, for it, that I can help someone. And then when they see that, they'll be for you and they'll come back over and over again. Yeah. Yep.
I'm sure, in dance, you probably experienced those different learning styles. I hadn't thought of that. That's, it's really
let
curious.
them know that they can succeed, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Now, I have you do this. You don't have to do that, but you can do this. So.
Yeah. Huh. That's really curious. I'm gonna think. All right. Any other thoughts? Looks like we have less than 10 minutes left.
I'll add one thing. Happened to me, a week ago. I finally started making more marketing posts, and I posted on my personal Facebook, and I had a former client comment on that marketing post saying, "Hey, we're sending you a project. Expect to hear someone." I'm like, that's great, because it's showing people that are seeing that post. It's not just me. It's not me fabricating. It's, fabricating, if whatever people think, a testimonial. The client is actually commenting saying, "We are sending you business as we speak." So getting people like that. And actually, funny thing is, they were my first client, and it's been 3 years since I've done a project with them. And for them to come back 3 years later and throw me a project and send me that, I think that really stresses, being able to have that persona and that connection, and really be able to, they knew me when I was 14 starting this, and being able to keep with that and stay true to who, what I am, and who I am and what I do. I think that really helped a lot. And, hopefully, with this project we just picked up, hopefully it continues to build on the story. I'm also getting a video. Jacob Michaels is helping me. We're going to be doing a story video at OSU's campus here. But really, I think, honing in on that and focusing on building those relationships and being able to get that feedback, get that support in your posts, I think that would be as well transformational.
Yeah. Great story.
Corrie, I was curious if you have an opinion about the relationship between networking and marketing, because my experiences seems to be that networking trumps marketing if done right, because at least for me, the fruits of my, the efforts to learn who to make connections have been much more profitable in terms of those relationships and income than the amount of time and energy I would spend trying to create an image. But my business is definitely not, it's not cakes. It's not a product. It's, it's most people don't even have a clue what I do, and they don't want to know. And frankly, so what's your opinion about networking versus marketing?
Well, I would say you know exactly who your customers are. So tell me a little bit more about your zoning. Are you like a zoning administrator for a area? Are you zoning rules? Are you consultant on zoning? What do you tell me more?
We basically help people get permits for what they want to build.
Okay.
Whether it's a sign company or if we're working with a company out of Missouri that wants to put in a bunch of banks all over the country, and we're helping to find out what's required for them to build banks.
Okay.
And we have I've got somebody heading to York, Pennsylvania to represent a grocery store for parking allowances. And there's all kinds of hoops people have to go through to use their property. So we represent the property owner or the architect or the sign builder or whatever to get things approved.
I see. Okay. Wow, that's very valuable. You know exactly who your customers are, so you already know what your niche is. And yeah, networking with them, I can see being way more valuable than trying to post ads, because you're not attracting, you don't have a consumable for just any person. You have a very targeted group of people that are looking to use your services. So wherever those people, I don't know how you exactly find those people, but those people are probably in very specific realms.
I'm a
So
huge proponent of associations. I think most
yeah.
people, if you learn the business association for what you do,
Hmm.
that's where you're going to, that's just a pot of gold when you learn what associations are and how they relate to the product you have or the service you provide.
Hmm. Yeah, I can definitely see that for you. Maybe the only thing that you might want to, if you have plenty of business, it might not even, I don't know, but your website, just making sure you have key terms on there for when people are, I have zoning, how do I do this with zoning? How do I, working with economic development, and I need this, and what are those certain terms that someone might use when they're trying to find you, and then making sure that you just have those on your simple website. You don't need an elaborate website. You just need a landing place for
Yep.
people. It's like a contact card, basically. When people Google something, they just want your contact so that they can call you.
Static
So maybe
pages, not, yeah, static pages, not dynamic pages.
yeah. So
Thank
maybe
you.
just making sure you have those key terms on your website. But other than that, I can see for your business that definitely relationships. Because if someone's running into an issue, they're going to call the guy that they just saw solve that issue. If there's another bank, so you're helping a bank. When another bank tries to come into town, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm having all these issues." They're going to call that other bank and say, "How did you do this?" And then they're going to say, "Well, call Jim. He's the one who helped us out." Word of mouth.
I can understand why that would be so, like for him, relationships is more important because because marketing in the way that we were discussing would not work for him because he knows his audience already. I don't necessarily know my complete audience, but he does. And so I just think he was talking about networking. That is going to be his thing. That's how he's going to learn. So I mean, that's how he's going to gain his audience, so to speak, or his customer base. And so I just thought that was interesting that based on his business, there's a whole different thing that works for him. And so this is a lot to take in today.
All right, guys. Well, we're at 12:30 right now. This has been a great conversation. And one thing I love about Corrie is I love how she gets to know the person, because I've been in marketing for, well, I won't say how many years because I'll age myself, but I've been in this space for a very long time, and I've come to know that there isn't one right answer to any of this. It's very individualized, and so I love how she spends time to get to know the business so she can give the right answer. And I really appreciate that, because there's a lot of people out there that will make a lot of blanket statements. Well, this is the only way to do it, and this is the only way to do it. And the truth is, it all works. It's just dependent on your business and what you're trying to do in it. So that's one thing I appreciate about how she takes time to just get to know your business. And if you have not connected with her, then I would reach out to Susie, and Susie will be more than happy to connect you with Corrie to help you kind of take some of what was talked about today and give you a little more assistance in that. So thank you so much, Corrie, for your time and just your knowledge, and we look forward to seeing more of you around here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I feel like a rookie off the bench coming into this, but yeah, thanks for having me, and enjoyed meeting all of you. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you again soon.
So we're going to close with just really quick with some announcements. The next forum will be Thursday, February 8th. I'm super excited about this one. I got to meet Tammy Fink. She was actually introduced to me from Renee Vidor, who many of us know. And I got to have a little sit down with her, and she is a little spunk. I mean, she is just, she's excited. She's just has a lot of energy. She has a book out called The Wow Factor. And I think that's a great compliment to what was talked about today, because her whole thing is, how do you create a brand wow factor to where the first second somebody interacts with your brand, do you want them to walk away with, oh, okay, that was, or do you want them to walk away with like, wow, that was the best experience I've ever had, and I haven't even started working with them, right? So she's going to talk about the whole concept of how to wow your customers so that they go on to become brand ambassadors for your business. They become the mouthpiece for your business. I'm really excited to have her come and talk on the 8th. And then we have a live hybrid event coming up this Saturday with Steve Lindsay. He is the owner of Honda Lindsay here in Columbus. He has an amazing faith story, and he's going to be kind of sharing a little bit about his journey into entrepreneurship and kind of his experiences. So 2 great upcoming events. Mark these down on your calendars, and Susie, as she does a great job with all of us, you should be getting announcements and email about these events. And then obviously we have a website. We are on LinkedIn. We have a community on LinkedIn. So if you want to join us on there, you can go ahead and scan any of these codes and find us there. We are putting most of these events, we are going to be putting on YouTube, so you can go back and watch at a later time. And if you have not liked us yet on YouTube, we invite you to kind of give us a like, give us a follow, because it helps kind of spread the word about YouTube channel. And if you have not yet signed up for the motivational emails that I send out 3 times a week, I encourage you to get connected with those. I love hearing and seeing emails coming through, and just the inspiration, the encouragement, the motivation that these emails provide. And they're very short. My whole goal is to just give you a quick little word of encouragement, not spend a whole lot of your time, because I know you're busy, but just something that will give you motivation, a scripture truth, or just something, a truth that you can go into the day with. So if you have not signed up to receive those, then I invite you to do that. And I think with that note, that concludes today's session. It was good to see all of you guys, and look forward to seeing you at the next event. Thank you again, Corrie, for stepping in and helping out today. And God bless you guys, and have a great rest of the week.
Thanks. Bye. Thanks.
All
Corey.
right. God bless. Hey, everyone.
Thank you.